This is a quick refresher session about PostgreSQL extension pgstat kcache. Myself, Jobin Augustine. Let us understand the purpose of pgstat kcache. Postgres does the read and write to the operating system, and good percentage of the IO request will be served from the operating system cache. It may not be going all the way to the disk. If the IO request is satisfied by the operating system page cache, it will be really fast. But if the IO request has to go all the way to the disk, the storage, it is going to be slow. So we need to understand what percentage of IO request is going to the disk and which SQL statement is causing more real IO operation. This is where this extension helps. We can consider pgstat kcache as an extension to extension. The base features are provided by pgstat statements, and pgstat kcache builds on the top of that. Let's see how it works. Internally, it uses the system call getRUsage to understand the resource usage of each process. It implements both planner and executor hooks to understand the resource usage. Internally, the extension executes getRUsage first time. Let us call it as snapshot1, and then it will allow the SQL to run. Then again it will execute the getRUsage. Let us call it as snapshot2, and at the end it can calculate snapshot2 minus snapshot1, which gives the resource usage during the SQL execution. What it cuts and compare: CPU time, both user space and system space, memory page faults, both minor and major, IO, both read and writes, and context switches, both voluntary and involuntary context switches. These informations will be collected and compared before and after the SQL execution. Now let's see how to install. pgstat kcache binaries are part of pgdg distribution. Installing from pgdg repo is straightforward. Once installed, we can check in pg available extensions whether that extension is installed correctly. So here we can see pgstat cache and pgstat statements. We need both of them. pgstat kcache requires pgstat statements also. Both of them need to be preloaded. Give a restart to take the changes into effect. Once the Postgres is restarted, let us connect to PostgreSQL and check the shared preload libraries to verify that both extensions are preloaded, and verify whether the extensions are already created or not. No, it's not. So create extension pgstat kcache cascade. So since the pgstat kcache requires pgstat statements, that also will be created because of the dependency. The pgstat kcache has three parameters. The first one is Linux hertz. This determines the sampling frequency. If you sample the usage data in a higher frequency than it gets updated by Linux ticks, then we may get usage information as 0. So the default is -1, means auto detect. So pgstat kcache has feature to auto detect and set this parameter value. So the suggested option is to leave it to the default. And the second parameter is whether to track the top level statement or all. So the top level statement means the statement which is issued by the client. These are the available options. And the third parameter is whether to track the planning usage, SQL planning usage. So the default is off. That means the CPU and IO usage by SQL planning won't be tracked. Now let's see how to use pgstat-kcache. pgstat-kcache provides two views for end users. One is pgstat-kcache, which gives the summary information at the top level, and pgstat-kcache detail, which provides per statement information. If we query on pgstat-kcache, there will be only one record, one tuple, and that has two sections. One is plan related and another is execution related. The plan related is for SQL query planning, and this execution section is for SQL execution at the time related to, or the resource usage related to execution. And the plan related information will be available only if the track parameter is opted in. If you set the parameter, then only this section will get populated. If we query on pgstat-kcache detail view, there will be multiple records, multiple rows in the table, I mean the view, and each of these records belongs to separate statements. Each statement will have separate rows in this view. That statement level information gives us more clarity on which statement took a lot of CPU and caused real I/O into the operating system. We should recollect that all these features comes with the corresponding negative aspects also. No extension comes free of cost. Every extension implements hooks and performs system calls, especially this pgstat-kcache invokes system calls, and there is extra overhead in maintaining those counters and its data structure, the array, and there were some heavy locks also. Here is a case, severe performance degradation was reported, especially on Intel architecture. This pgstat-kcache is more of a single person maintained extension. Even though it is a single person behind, which is Julian, he is really fast to address some of the serious performance regressions. The performance impact of this extension depends on multiple factors. One is the CPU architecture and the type of hosting, whether it is a bare metal or VM, and whether there are statements of low frequency or high frequency. High frequency statements are expected to have more impact, and whether it is a prepared statement, because the prepared statements are generally used for the low latency applications. And in our testing, we observed up to 15% degradation. It could vary from 1% or but up to 15% degradation is observed. In summary, we discussed about the purpose of pgstat-kcache and what is the value it adds in addition to pgstat statements, and how it works internally, including the system call it invokes, and how to install. We can install it from pgdg repository or from source code, and the major parameters, the three parameters which influences the behavior, and the user facing views it presents, the two views, one is the summary information and one is per statement information, and the performance implications. Thank you for watching.